Yo guys, it's slyroh. You already know that today I'm bringing you guys my team analysis for week 3 of the Battle Union. This week we are taking on SinisterSableye, also known as Baby Eye, and the St. Louis Chatots. Now, last week was a major disaster in the way that we team prepped, and it was absolutely awful. And honestly, just thinking about last week's game, it makes me sick to my stomach. Like that's just how bad it is. But yeah, so we're not going to talk about last week anymore because we really need to right our ship. The first 2 games have not been a very impressive showing on our part, and I have really struggled to figure out how my team works and how to really build with it. So I've taken a step back, I've kind of reevaluated my thought process, and I tried to go back to the way that I know that I can team build, and I really feel that this is the week. This is the week where we right our ship, we show that, you know, we are capable of winning this league, because I don't think we have shown that at all. I think this is the week. I really think I've figured out the secret to this team. I really think that I, have kind of gone back to the way that I like to team build, and I think that I've been able to do that with the team this week. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the team that we have to face this week. Baby Eye has a team that consists of Mega Pinsir, Heatran, Starmie, Conkeldurr, Haxorus, Hoopa Confined, Sandslash, Gramble, and Zebstrika. He also has a Roserade, Skuntank, and Xatu on the bench, but thankfully we don't have to plan for any of those. When he did not take Roserade off the bench, I was super duper happy, because I really thought Roserade was coming off the bench to just be another way to like deal with Manaphy and stuff like that. But instead he brought Hoopa C off the bench, and he set Skuntank to the bench, which is really cool, because Skuntank is a Pokemon that screws me over like a lot for one reason or another. It didn't really have a good matchup this game, but I'm sure it still would have figured out a way to screw me over, because I don't know why, I just don't play around Skuntank very well. So now we get a Hoopa Confined, which honestly I've never really seen Hoopa C like used like that much in leagues. So I'm very interested, and I'm also very like not sure how to approach it. So we shall see about that. So yeah, the mons that I'm predicting Baby Eye to bring are the Mega Pinsir, because it's a Mega Pinsir, and it does a lot to my team. Heatran, because it's super duper scary, and offensively it can hit a lot of things on my team. Starmie is also another scary offensive threat, just with its special size hit, and then the Psyshock, being able to hit things like the Mega Venusaur, as well as just caused me a lot of issues for any sort of monster I would like to make especially defensive. Conkeldurr, fighting types have done a pretty good number to my team the past couple weeks, so I do expect Conkeldurr to come, because I do have a little bit of a fighting weakness, depending, I don't know, we'll see. Hoopa C, he brought it off the bench. Most, like 99% of the time when you bring him on off the bench, you end up bringing it right away. I could definitely see like a safety goggles Hoopa C to switch into Venusaur. Although maybe not, because Venusaur gets knockoff, and Hoopa C does not want to take any knockoffs, so we'll see. And I'm actually going to predict Zebstrika to come, just because Volt Switch is could be really good for him to get safe switches into his Mega Pinsir or Starmie, or Heatran for that matter, as well as it just outspeeds Manaphy and can do a lot to Manaphy. So, and outside of that, he doesn't really have a lot that just, is an obvious threat to Manaphy. So I think he's actually going to leave Haxorus behind, just because Haxorus needs to set up like 3 Dragon Dances before it like even starts to kind of run through my team, and I just don't think he's going to be able to do that. And then I just don't think Sandslash and Gramble are coming, and if they do, I should have a pretty decent time of being able to deal with them. So let's go ahead and just start talking about my team, and I'll go into all the things as we go through it. First off is going to be Windows 10, the Porygon 2. This set is actually not on here correctly. First off, this should be odd. So that's going to be 244. This is actually supposed to be a specially defensive Porygon 2. So go ahead and make that 12. Alright, so we're going to have 4 extras. We'll put the 4 in defense. There we go. I think I'm doing that right, yeah? Yeah. Because 4 doesn't add a thing, 8 does. So, alright, I guess we have this little EV spread. This is especially defensive Porygon 2 with Shadow Ball, Tri-Attack, Recover, and Hidden Powder Ground. This is my Starmie. Wow, this is my Starmie answer. This is the only thing that can take hits from Starmie consistently. So, yeah. This also deals with Heatran pretty well. So, you know, Shadow Ball is to hit said Starmie, Hidden Power Ground is to hit said Heatran. I thought about having Magic Coat, but plans changed later on in the team build, and we'll get to why that is. So I just kind of went through Tri-Attack on there. I had Ice Beam on for a little bit to hit things like Sand Slash and Haxorus, but 1, because I don't plan on those coming, and 2, because I don't plan on staying in with Porygon 2 with those 2 things. I have other switch-ins for it. That's why I took off Ice Beam. So I'm just going to go for Tri-Attack. Also with the slight hope that, you know, there would be some Tri-Attack hacks that helps me out. We'll see. I'm not like aiming for it, but I'm not really preventing it either. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But obviously, I would like to win this game outright and not have any game-changing hacks really do the match for me, because hacks has been our friend the first 2 weeks. But, you know, I think it needs to lay off and let us win a game on our own for once. But that's pretty much it, especially defensive Porygon 2. It's very good, it's very bulky, and it should be able to stay around for a long time. Okay, next mon is going to be Physically Defensive Arcanine with leftovers Flare Blitz, Bulldoze, Crunch, and Morning Sun. Now, I can't put Will-O-Wisp or Toxic on this thing because there's a Conkeldurr, which sucks. So I don't want to give Conkeldurr any Guts boosts, so, you know, I do not want to have statuses on my team. So, that's a thing. Flare Blitz is obviously good stab, and hits everything, like, you know, neutrally, except for the things that I've covered moves for. Bulldoze is for the Heatran, and Crunch is for the Starmie. So, there's that, and Morning Sun is to stay healthy. This is my main switch-in to Mega Pinsir. However, I cannot use this to switch in Mega Pinsir turn 1 because of Hyper Cutter before Pinsir Mega evolves. Intimidate will not go off. Also, if rocks are up, then Arcanine is not necessarily a great switch-in because it can be 2-KO'd by the correct set of moves. So, we'll see how that works, but this is kind of my main Mega Pinsir answer. Could also be used to get Intimidates off on Conkeldurr and Haxorus if need be, and Gramble, whatever. Should it need to do that. So that's why that's there. Next, let's talk about the, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but this is the only mono on our team with offensive investment this week. Mostly because I figured, hey, I drafted Bulk, why aren't I using Bulk? I've been trying to bring this like weird hyper offense type thing that's not my style and not how this team works. So I am actually bringing a lot of Bulk this week, but the one mon that is not bulky this week, all is right in the world. We have U-Turn, the Flagon, and it has U-Turn and a Choice Scarf. It's okay, Shroom. Everything is right in the world again. I'm sorry that I didn't put U-Turn on Flagon before. I've noticed my mistakes, and I offer this set to you as a form of apologies, of a way to ask for forgiveness. It also has Defog, so I mean, this is, I mean, the most standard Flagon that you can get, and I really hope that you're proud of me. All that aside, Defog, Earthquake, Rock Slide, U-Turn, 236 speed, Jolly, 2 outspeed, that's to outspeed a Haxorus at +1, because, yeah, I can't outspeed a Jolly Mega Pinsir. If it's an Adamant Mega Pinsir, then I do outspeed, but, I mean, I'm Scarfed, so I outspeed that. Regardless, never mind, you know what I meant, but, yeah, so, that is the thing. I outsped Haxorus at +1, just in case. Even though I took off the move to be able to hit Haxorus. Actually, Earthquake does about half. So Earthquake does a lot to everything that's on the ground, and Rock Slide does a lot to Mega Pinsir, which is not on the ground. That's pretty much it. And U-Turn actually does a lot to, like, Starmie. It does, like, over half. And yeah, this is just a good way to get momentum on my side, get into some of my threats, and kind of keep him from, running through my team with any sort of his threats. So this can check things like Mega Pincer offensively, and can force it out if needs be, which I feel like I'm definitely going to have to do. So there's that. That's, your Flagon, so there you go. Then we have Sorali, the Mega Venusaur with the Venusaurite, obviously. This is the annoying set that I like to call it. Leaf Seed, Sleep Powder, Hidden Power Ice, and Giga Drain. Basically max HP, max defense, because of Mega Venusaur's weird stat spread. It doesn't quite work like that. Like 248 is actually, especially with the IVs, because of Hidden Power Ice. That's just how it worked out. It's, I don't know. I'm doing what Chatots told me to do, essentially. But because I even double checked, this is like the most optimal way to distribute the defenses, and then forward special attack, forward special defense, whatever. This is physically defensive to just really stop Conkeldurr, Haxorus, Sandslash, Gramble. Like none of them can do anything. And despite the fact that it's not especially defensive, Zipstrika doesn't do anything. Heatran, if it's defensive, I think even if it's like max special attack leftovers, I'm pretty sure Fire Blast is the only thing that even has a chance to a KO. So while this would not be my switch into Heatran, it could potentially deal with it. Leech Seed to start kind of wearing his team down, Sleep Powder to put threats to sleep, and be able to put something to sleep and then go for a Leech Seed. Hidden Power Ice hits any sort of Mega Pincer switch in, as well as being able to hit Haxorus and Sandslash, so that's why I chose Hidden Power Ice over Hidden Power Rock. And Giga Drain just to be able to keep some health, as well as hit, Starmie or Sandslash if for some reason I'm able to hit them, but mainly just to kind of stack that on top of Leaf Seed and be able to keep Mega Venusaur as healthy as possible, because I'm not running Synthesis this week, and hopefully Mega Venusaur does not get worn down too quickly. So, that is Mega Venusaur. Now, I've been trying to forcefully bring setup Manaphy, and A, I don't play with setup very well, and B, you shouldn't try to force Mons when it's not their time to come. So I, took a step back, looked at everything Manaphy can do, and I came up with a set that I think is really going to help out this week. So, Manaphy, the Manaphy, is going to be holding the leftovers with Reflect, Surf, Shadow Ball, and Ice Beam, max HP, 236 speed, timid, 16 in special attack, and 4 in special defense. That is the optimized EV thing, how it is, how we do around here. This outspeeds an Adamant Mega Pincer. This also outspeeds a max speed Haxorus. And it has a lot of HP for, as a way to switch in. This will probably be my first switch into Heatran, and could switch into other things if need be. Reflect is to be able to not get swept by Mega Pincer. If I save Manaphy till later in the game, where maybe Mega Pincer is one of the only things left, I can set up a Reflect. Even if it is Jolly Mega Pincer, I can live, a hit from Mega Pincer. I still get 2 KO'd and I don't want to switch into it, but I could, sack something off, bring this in, go for a Reflect, and then all of a sudden everything on my team becomes the Mega Pincer switch in. So Reflect is there to help with that, as well as if something like Haxorus would start going out of control, or who knows what. I think Gramble will probably get some sort of physical setup. I really should know this because I had a Gramble on my team before. And Sandslash gets Sword Stance. So, if anything starts going crazy, I have a Reflect as a way to kind of be like, alright, let's slow your roll. And, yeah. So, that's why Reflect is there. Surf because I don't want Scald, because Scald burns Conkeldurr. Bad. Don't want that. Shadow Ball hits Starmie and Hoopa Confined, and Ice Beam hits Haxorus and Mega Pincer. So, yeah, that's what that is. So there's no setup. I'm not forcing any sort of setup with Manaphy. This is kind of this bulky, speedy utility Manaphy. I don't know. It has a lot of different roles. and I'm hoping that now that I'm expanding the box, you know, I'm going outside of the box, I picked the box up and I threw it out the window, you know, there's no box anymore, that I can start being a little bit more creative with my mons, including Manaphy, because I feel like this is decently creative, and I really hope it works out. And then, obviously, you see the last mon. I brought Almastar off the bench. I benched Ambipom. I put Ambipom back on the bench just because I wasn't going to need it this week. Might not need it next week, so we'll see. And Almastar was actually kind of a last minute bring. I want to say last minute, but I would say probably about a day ago I decided to bring it off the bench, and then maybe like double check to make sure that it was like a good bring. I had Slurpuff for a while, but again, Slurpuff is essentially a setup mon, which I don't play well with setup. So you know, who knows as to why. I'm still trying to make Slurpuff work, but it was in the team for a very, very long part of the team building process. However, I realized that hazards are going to be more important, so I did not want to bring Cobalion, because there's so much that does a lot to Cobalion. Cobalion does, like, it just doesn't really hit anything. Like, it's good for the Mega Pinsir, but, like, I can't switch it in, like, ever. And, I don't know, I just thought Almastar would be more fun. So, we'll see. This is a physically defensive Almastar. This makes my third physically defensive mon. I need a lot of, like, pseudo checks to Mega Pinsir, just so I don't get swept by it. I'm gonna have to be taking a lot of damage from it, I know, but I need to be able to, you know, do things. And obviously, Almastar switches into Return. I think that was the main reason I brought Almastar over Cobalion, was just because it switches in on Return a lot better. And then I'm going with Sugar Berry. I could try Chople Berry because I think Mega Pinsir is going to bring both Close Combat and Earthquake, honestly. The reason that I end up going Shuka is just because a lot of the coverage moves that his opposing mons can hit me with will be like ground moves. So Heatran could have like Earth Power. I mean, Conkeldurr would go for a fighting move, but Haxorus gets like Earthquake, Sand Slash is ground type. Gramble could, you know, have Earthquake. So, you know, I'm kind of placing my bets that I might be able to do some stuff here. Shell Armor prevents me from being critted, which I definitely need on a defensive mon. So there's that. I have Stealth Rock and Spikes because there's a Mega Pinsir, Spikes because there's anything else. The only mons on his team that has self recovery is Starmie, and then if you count Conkeldurr with Drain Punch, that's it. Everything else does not get self recovery, which means that we can wear down his team with hazards if I can get them up. Ice Beam then hits said Mega Pinsir that I'm trying to switch in on. Knockoff hits the Hoopasee and Starmie. I feel like Starmie would be one that would switch in on Almastar, so I could knock it off. And just knocking off items in general is a good thing to do. So, and this is, actually, honestly, this should not be a lax nature. I'm just going to make it bold. I know I have knockoff, but knockoff is there more for utility and less for damage. So, despite the fact that knockoff still does, like, 60% to Hoopasee, or something like that, I don't even know. It's something pretty crazy. But yeah, so I wanted to bring some hazards, try and wear down his team a little bit. Also, if there's hazards on the field, I can force the Starmie to go for Rapid Spin. Starmie is a big threat to my team, and if I force it to go for Rapid Spin, that's less damage that it's doing to me, which is fine by me, honestly. So, yeah, so there's hazards, there's all that good stuff. So we have 3 physically defensive mons, especially defensive mon, of whatever you call Manaphy, and 1 Scarfer. So, I drafted Bulk, and now I'm using Bulk, and I think this is the way to use this team. It's going to be annoying, it's going to be a long, grindy battle, but I'm ready to have this long, grindy battle. I'm in it for the long haul, and I don't know that Baby Eye is going to be able to, you know, have the same amount of patience that we have for this. So, that's my team this week. Leave me your thoughts. Let me know how much better it is than last week, because it should be so much better. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the battle. Yeah, because the battle's going up tomorrow. So that's why I'm going to see you tomorrow for the battle. And that is going to wrap up this video. So, that is basically everything. Thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, stay sly.